held her 33rd district congressional seat since 2001. The district covers Culver City, Baldwin Hills, Hollywood, and Koreatown. Assemblywoman Karen Bass is expected to run for her seat.
For her people, all the...
Do you have trouble sleeping? Well, you're not alone. Some 75 million Americans suffer from sleep disorders, and now one of the most popular prescription sleeping aids, Ambien, is under fire. More users claim sleepwalking or even blacking out while sleep driving. Phil Schumann reports on Ambien Zombies.
For him, you know.
Brian Petitprint celebrating a new life as he holds his godson for the very first time.
He just smiled all the time, and he always had a positive attitude.
But 1 month later, the successful young businessman was dead.
And he walked up the inside staircase, and then he just walked off the end of the building.
His father, John, says he'd been taking Ambien to help him sleep.
This young man had so much life in him and so much life ahead of him. You know, it was just snuffed out. It ended up flat on the roof of a building.
3 nights after this mother of 6 started taking Ambien, she found herself in handcuffs, charged with a DUI and a hit and run for hitting this hydrant in a sleep-driving stupor.
The next thing I remember, I'm coming home from the police station.
And this Orange County attorney says a client went berserk on an airplane after taking Sleepman tablets, another name for Ambien, prescribed to him in Hong Kong.
He started screaming for his wife, trying to kick out the airplane window, and they ended up handcuffing him and then duct taping him to hold him down.
Susan Chana Lask calls them all Ambien Zombies.
And it was just horrific for me to see people walking around like Night of the Living Dead out there.
Lask's an attorney who filed a class action lawsuit on behalf of Ambien users. She later agreed to withdraw it only because the FDA ordered stronger warning labels. She's now writing a book about Ambien.
It ruins people's lives.
Took an Ambien. This is a good one.
Here on YouTube, users document Ambien tripping, taping their Ambien antics, chronicling bizarre behavior, spoofing the ads.
If you haven't seen that commercial, you look for it.
Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with memory loss for the event.
So you'll sleep, eat, and drive without remembering you did it. This is something I have to try.
In this YouTube video, a man's seen getting a DUI while on Ambien. The sleep aids also made tabloid headlines linked to Heath Ledger, Tiger Woods, Patrick Kennedy, and Jack Nicholson, who's reportedly said he almost drove off a cliff in an Ambien stupor. And while millions take Ambien without reporting any negative side effects, even the company that makes it says it's not for everyone.
A spokesperson for Sanofi-Aventis, the French drug company that makes Ambien, says they're committed to patient health and safety and treats these matters with the highest importance. Still, they acknowledge that behaviors like driving or sleepwalking while not fully awake may occur, and that alcohol may increase the likelihood of those behaviors.
Although Brian Petitprint and James Crawford's client both had alcohol in their system, our woman in Orange County, Linda Fuller, says she was charged with DUI even though she doesn't drink at all.
They should have taken me to the hospital instead of jail.
Her attorney is Amy McDonald.
She was just basically a victim of Ambien.
We are literally one nation under sedation. Americans consumed $4.5 billion worth of sedative, hypnotics, or sleep medications in 2009 alone.
David MAYEN believes he has a better idea. He's the program director for the Sleep Recovery Centers, which treat insomniacs with neurofeedback instead of pills.
We have a seamless process that allows people to be able to get off those medications but still be able to maintain a better quality sleep than when they were on them.
IRENE LARA Gutierrez turned to neurofeedback after bottoming out with Ambien.
I felt always submerged below water, like I couldn't really get up.
She says now she's getting relief.
I sleep through the night.
Dr. David Dubin, the medical director of the Sleep Recovery Centers, says neurofeedback helps about 2/3 of his sleep-deprived patients by training the brain to run more efficiently.
There's nothing more holistic than the brain returning to optimal function without having to ingest anything external.
What kind of sports you gonna play, boy?
John Petitprint is one who wishes doctors would be slower to dole out Ambien, and he says the loss of his son has given him plenty of sleepless nights. And he says tougher warnings on the label won't make things right.
How many more lives have to be so dramatically affected before something is done?
Linda Fuller in Orange County was found not guilty on both her DUI and hit-and-run charges. But the client for attorney James Crawford was convicted of a felony for interfering with a flight attendant. For more on Ambien and the Ambien controversy, go to our website, myfoxla.com.